Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great day. Natural gas did close in a very skeptical location, which caused a lot of fear in the market this weekend. Now, Canadian gas production exports to US rebound as the wildfires abate. Now, this is obviously going to increase the production and be able to export the natural gas to the US. And on the other end, Cyprus speeds up the effort to build a natural gas link with Israel. Now, if this happens, this is also going to make a huge impact. Before we get into this, if you guys are here for the first time, you want to stay up to date with everything to do with natural gas, scroll down, tap the red subscribe button. While you're there, slap a like on the video, just help the YouTube algorithm push the video out to more people so everyone can stay up to date with the latest info of natural gas. Now, gas production tops 17.5 BCF on May 25th and 26th. Gas exports to US down 300 in May, but it will be coming back to normal. If you guys do not know, in Canada there was a little bit of wildfire which did actually cause a huge disruption in terms of how much gas was being exported from Canada into the US. Now, after everything was able to be recovered, now finally in the 26th of May, everything is back to normal, everything is running, and the gas production has rebounded and come back to its normal route. Now, keep in mind, this is obviously going to be impacting the amount that US will also be sending out to the UK and the EU. Why? Because obviously US themselves need a lot of natural gas themselves, which is the demand is quite high. If they're not able to get it from Canada, they would obviously have to get one of their own and make sure that they buy into it, and that's literally what is happening right now. But once this is back up and running, obviously this will have a little bit of positive impact on the natural gas price. Now, Cyprus, this was actually posted on Bloomberg, country to hold 2-day workshop next week to woo the investors. Energy minister sees benefit for local power production. Now, the reason this is really interesting is because if you guys do not know where Cyprus is on the map, it's actually really interesting because Cyprus is in pretty much the dead middle of the Middle East, and you guys can see that Israel will be connecting something to be able to provide, you know, the natural gas link, so they are able to get it to each other a lot faster. Now, if we talk about the natural gas trend, you guys can see the downtrend was very clear when we went on to the 21st of May, about 7 days ago, last weekend. You guys know the downtrend started. Now, once the downtrend started, we saw another downfall. It stayed into a consolidation period, a little bit of a recovery, and another fall. The same thing has followed through. And right now, natural gas is sitting in a very crucial zone. What do I mean by crucial zone? Because this is a point which is 2.4. Now, if we stay into a consolidation point, we might be able to make a recovery from the support zone. But if we're not able to stay on the support zone, over time, this will actually cause the price to dip even harder and maybe test out the support close to $2, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do not want to see. Also, if you pay attention, this is forming a head and shoulder pattern, and that is looking like it's very clearly being formed. And if a lot of traders decide to also follow this pattern and decide to trade in that sense, hey, we might be able to see a good outcome. Now, if we do decide to look at another thing, which is the buy and the sell orders which are coming in, you guys can see it's very clear that the sell orders are a little bit outweighing the buy orders. Do I think it's a bad thing? Probably not, just because of the fact I think the buying pressure right now is really strong, and you can see on the RSI line as well that it is in the oversold zone. Could this mean that a lot of retail investors decide to buy in and the buying pressure just decides to push it even further? Now, keep in mind the mild temperature is one of the massive driving factor of the natural gas price, because the weather is not actually supporting natural gas by being colder. It is obviously going to drive the price down a little bit more. Now, Europe, natural gas gout is about to vanish as a key price spread flips. Pricer LNG in Asia threatens to divert cargoes from EU. EU's supply situation is still fragile due to the war in Ukraine. Now keep in mind that this is really crazy because the threat of natural gas supply squeeze in EU is growing after the key price spread reversed. Now if, let's just say, the cargo which will come from Asia decides to disappear, you guys know that will cause even more demand and it will not be fulfilled. What will happen to the price? It will skyrocket, which I know a lot of you guys want to see. Another thing is higher LNG exports to drive up the US Natgas price, says the report from EIA. Increasing exports of US LNG through 2050 will rise the domestic price of natural gas, and obviously it's very clear because obviously they would need to buy it with a more expensive price. Another thing is natural gas ends lower for the fourth time in 5 sessions. Now this is so interesting because you guys need to know lower natural gas price has been a thing in the past, but the level that we are hitting after COVID, this is going to be the first time where we're seeing such low numbers, which is scaring a lot of traders. Now 6 million in Cambodia do not have access to natural gas. What does that mean? This shows that there is still a lot more demand which is not being fulfilled. If they're able to find a different route to be able to fulfill this demand, you guys know over time this will have a positive impact on the price. Now this country, I'm not going to try to name it, boosts natural gas exports to the European market. Now this is one of the Middle Eastern country. You guys need to understand, again, this is going to give a little bit of a relief for EU because they need a lot of different ways that they're able to get the natural gas before the end of the year. If they're not able to do that, you guys know the price of natural gas is going to go extremely explosive, and let's just say that is not going to help a lot of short traders. Another thing is European gas prices set for the longest weekly losing streak in a decade. A benchmark natural gas prices in Europe continued their freefall this week. Now this is going really low really fast, and keep in mind if we do decide to test out the $2 point and if we decide to break below that, that is going to be even a scarier zone. What do I mean by a scarier zone? Well, keep in mind there's not much that will be happening if the European market just able to fulfill their demand, but if those demands are not met, that will make the price go explosive. Another thing is natural gas price analysts set for a volatile action ahead of inventory figures. Now this week, again, if we talk about the weekly report, it was actually positive, which is good, but the price action did not show a positive trend. What does that mean? That hey, the market's going to be really volatile because the pressure from the sell orders is really strong, and if that does decide to wear off, the buy orders will be coming in even faster. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, do want to stay up to date with everything, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. I'm out. Peace.